Namaskar. I heartily welcome all of you to the Shiksharth writing of project reports, field visit reports, and minutes of staff meeting. When we go further, so writing of project report. So the first is what is project. When we wish to know or we want to go towards writing a project report, at first we should know that what is a project, right? So project is a different thing for different organizations. Project is a series of events. In some of the organization, if some work is to be carried out, on that time the organization or the people of the organization will need several project reports, and for that a project is to be carried out. Because when any organization, any industry, if it wish to start any new venture, it needs to go for the feasibility of the project, and the project is a series of event, and all those events are in sequence of something, and that is a project. In some of the cases, in your school, in your college, you were given some projects. So the projects may be some school project also. During school life, we were given, or the teachers were giving to the students some work. They were asked to go for a project of some global warming. They were asked to make some project of what we can say report writing or something on solar energy. So for that, a student or the project manager is required to go for a sequence of events, and he needs to draft the whole project. In that, one needs to collect data, information, some statistics, and for this collection the project manager will go for several equipments or tools for the completion of this project. In project, it is not the case that only a person or two person may carry out the whole project. There are different types of projects, and in that project it happens so some are the individual project reports, and some of the projects are committee project reports. So for a project, single man can work, and in some of the project hundreds of people can work, and all those people or the team is given a duty. They are assigned a duty, a project, that they will have to go only for some work, and they will just concentrate on only the work given to them. Thus project goes on. So in project, different of people, different of organizations, all of them are involved to carry out an objective given to them. Because whenever a project is done, a project is never done without an objective or achievement. So objectives are already defined, and after defining that objectives, a project is to be carried out. When it goes on, now later on there comes the duty to report about the happenings of the project, and in that duty all the persons involved in the work are supposed to give a written form what they have done, right? In this case, the data, the information whatsoever was required might be gathered through questionnaire, through field visit, through interviews, and through other sources from library or newspaper or magazines, and they are intended to write a report. So what is a report? So a report is what we can say a major thing, because when you go for a project, the project will be done, it will be carried out, but if it is not in the form of a report, then there will be the question that how the objectives, the findings, the conclusion of the project can be implemented without having a project report. So they have to go for the project report. And when they have to plan a project report, there is a perfect structure for the report, and that structure of a report covers several things. It goes on with the letter of transmittal. Letter of transmittal is just like a formal letter or formal business letter, which is just like a forwarding letter to the organization to which the project manager is submitting its report. In that letter of transmittal, it is written that the project whichsoever was given is being submitted by the project manager. After the letter of transmittal, there comes cover. Cover is always very important for any project report. What is cover? Cover is what we can say a protection guide for the whole report. In some of the cases, a project report may be of small numbers of pages. In some of the cases, the project report may be of 2000 or 3000 pages. In that case, a cover is required, and that cover always carries information about the project given to the project manager. In that cover, on that cover, the report or the project report number is given, the maker of the project report, the author, the name of the author, it is written, and a cover page is made little bit attractive so that it can attract the attention of the reader. After the cover, there comes the title page. Title page covers little bit more information, because in the title page, the name of the project, the name of the person or organization who has given the duty of creating this project, it is written over there. The project report number also comes on the title page. On the same, when there is a project report, in some of the cases, senior officers are also included in the organization for the project. So the name of the senior project officers, it is also written in the title page. So the title page covers the information about the project, about the company, organization, or the field for what the project report is made. After the title page, there comes the letter of authorization and the letter of acceptance, because in any organization, it is very much necessary and essential when anybody goes for any work, authority is to be given. If the fellow is not provided any authority, then there comes the question that why and how the project manager is asking for the detail, for data collection, for the information, and some of the important statistical information from any company. So letter of authorization is the most essential thing when you submit a project report, because the reader also wants to know that the fellow whosoever is submitting this project report, is he an authorized person? Once the project manager is given the letter of authorization, then the fellow whosoever is given the authority to create this project report, he has to give the letter of acceptance. Once you are given an authority or you are appointed as a project manager, but if that report doesn't carry your acceptance letter, it means that the duty whatsoever was given to you is not accepted by you. So authority letter is always completed, or it will be completed only if you have accepted that authority. So after the title page, you need to have put letter of authorization and letter of acceptance in the report. Next to it comes acknowledgement. This is the most important part of the project report. Why? Because as I said, a project report or a project which is to be written, composed or drafted by a project manager, it is not the case that only this project manager will be able to carry out the whole project. He will be required assistance, help, coordination of plenty of things. And in this way, whenever he gets any support from any organization, he will be required to put acknowledgements. And in this acknowledgement, it is always necessary because this acknowledgement shows that the project manager or the writer of this project is a humble fellow. He has accepted, he is indebted to all the person whosoever has helped him in carrying out this whole work. Because as I said, the project report may be of a long tenure, because project is not a small one. Project may be a huge one. In many of the cases, in the further lecture, we will see how a project works or it goes on. But it may take a long tenure, long time also to clear or to reach to any conclusion or to attain any objective. So acknowledgements is the most important thing, and the project manager should write or should show his thankfulness to all the fellows whosoever has helped him in carrying out the whole project. After the acknowledgement, table of content is put in the report. Table of content, the most essential thing. Why? Because as I said, the project report may be of 1500 pages, 3000 pages or more than that. But when you have gone through the whole project, the whole task which was given to you, and when you are putting the whole task in a written form, in a written communication, you are giving that as a report to your authority. And this authority may forward this report to different various departments of the industry or organization. Because when you are given a duty of creating a project report, you are given a duty to know the feasibility of any work, that if the company is going to carry out this work, will it be beneficiary to the company? And if you don't talk about even any organization, industry or company, then in the school, in education, when a work is given to implement any educational policy, any experiment, any work, then table of content is the most essential thing, because the fellow, the person, the designated person is interested only in the field where he is appointed. When the table of content is given, the Department of Finance will check only the budgetary provisions shown in the table of content, that where is it. The fellow will be able to locate the interest of thing from the table of content. The finance department will directly see that what the budget or budgetary provisions are required for carrying out this budget, this project, right? And the executives of the company or board of directors, they will directly go for the statements, that is it feasible, यानी कि income and outcome, both the things, are they proper? So the table of content is the most essential thing, because in the table of content, the fellow, the reader of the report will be able to find, to see, to check the things of his interest directly, and will not have to go through all the pages, all the chapters, all the headings of the report. After the table of contents, there comes abstract and summary. As I said, that the report may be of long pages, the report may be bulky. Here, abstract, summary, and executive summary, all these three things play an important role in the project report. So, the project manager, the composer of the project report is required to put the abstract in the project report. Now, what is an abstract? Now, the abstract is what we can say the whole summary of the project report. In abstract, everything which is interesting, it is given. When the reader will read abstract, he will be able to understand what the project is about. And when you write a summary, before going towards summary, in abstract, you need to put some keywords also, that throughout the whole project report, which are the most important factors, keywords or facets which needs to be focused. So abstract will carry all those things. In abstract, there will be the whole outcome of the project report of 3000 pages or 4000 pages, whatsoever it may be. And when it goes for the summary will give a bird view to the reader of the report. The reader will be able to see through the summary that what the work is carried out by the whole team who has gone for the knowing, for the studying of the project. So, abstract and summary are the most essential thing. Precisely, executive summary is also to be put in the report. As I said, report may be of different types. In higher education, in colleges, there are the reports of what we can say NAAC, National Assessment and Accreditation Council. That is self-study reports, re-accreditation report, and all these report will also need executive summary. What you have written, what you have drafted, what sort of answers you have given in whole report, it is to be summarized in executive summary, because the report will go through headings, titles, chapters, and in all those chapters what the report writer has given, it is shown in the executive summary. After the executive summary, the main body of the report will start. The main body of the report will start with an introduction. In some of the cases, some report writers may write preface also as an introduction, but one should write introduction in the report, because the introduction will cover the title or the heading, or what we can say the hypothesis of the report, for what the report is drafted, why the duty was given to a person or to a committee to draft a report. That thing, that hypothesis or the analysis of that hypothesis is to be given in introduction. The introductory chapter or this introduction will cover the whole work, how the report was drafted, for this report which sort of things, which activities, where they have to visit, all these things will be given in the introduction. After the introduction, there will be the discussion and description. In discussion and description, there will be the whole detailed output of the work which was done by the project manager and by the team of the project manager. This topic will cover that where the people had gone, what have they acquired through questionnaire, what they have acquired through field visits, through interviews. All of these discussions are to be given in this report, and there will be the description. In the description, the report manager, project manager will write the essential things which are to be focused, and through this discussion and description he will reach towards the conclusion of the report. At the end, we will need to write a conclusion. What is the conclusion? So, the conclusion is the finding from the table of content, from abstract, from introduction, from discussion and description. The conclusion will carry the findings of the whole field visit, project and project report. In the conclusion, the project report, the writer will write that what should be done for the better implementation of the work, which measures should be taken. Now see, in conclusion, it is not the case that the project report writer may always give a positive output, because it is a project, and project was to check the feasibility of the work. It was to check that will it be beneficiary to the people, and after looking at all the facets, after making surveys, after going through the interviews, after meeting to the people concerned, to the stakeholders, it may be possible that the conclusion may be negative. There may be the sound of negative approach that the project, the industry is not feasible for this area. Because think, for instance, if someone is trying to create or erect a factory of refrigerator or ACs, or having an agency of refrigerator and ACs in some of the coolest areas of the continent, right, then it may not be feasible. So, the conclusion may be drawn out positive or even negative. If there are some risky factors in conclusion, some solutions are also to be given after the conclusion, because when you write a conclusion, later on you have to give recommendations. In the structure of report, there will be recommendations. So, you will have to write recommendations in the report, that what you are supposed to do, right. You are giving some suggestions, some advice to the company or organization who had given you the responsibility or the duty to create a project report. So, you have to write recommendations in the project report. This recommendation will guide the company, this recommendation will guide the board of directors to go through the work, to go through the project, that should they implement these things or not. So, recommendations are also required in the structure of report, because recommendations are the main thing for what the whole report or the whole exercise is carried out. Because when a project manager is given to write, to draft or to check the feasibility of any work, any task, then that feasibility is to be shown, is to be written in the recommendations. After the recommendations, there comes appendix, because throughout the whole project, you might have given several data, several information. Some informations are to be given in the form of chart, in the form of tabular forms, right? Graphs are there. So in appendix, one may or the project manager may put all these what we can say supporting documents which can make the report more effective, more positive. And all these appendixes are also to be enlisted in the table of content, and it is to be written as appendix 1, 2, 3 or whatsoever may be the numbers. After appendix, the report, whatsoever you are writing, the project manager is drafting or composing the report, it will require list of reference, because you are gathering data, you are collecting data through various sources. After the collection of all these data, whatsoever you have collected, you need to analyze the data, you need to work on these data. So while working on this data, you need to have several reference books, several other material, you need to have some library work also. So over here that you have worked or you have composed this report, it is the report is perfect, or the report is impressive, or the report is composed, or the report is carried out with a hard work, with a proper research work. This list of reference is the most essential thing, because from the list of reference, the reader of the project report may go through some other books. He or she may read what you have referred and what is your conviction about that reference, right? After the list of reference, there will be bibliography, because whatever books, reference books or the material you have used, all these things are to be placed in the bibliography of the report, because this bibliography will show that how many books, how many reference book, what the other material, if you have gone through e-material, e-sources, all these things are to be shown. And later on, bibliography will be followed by glossary and index. In glossary, one is required to put several terms, several figures which may be new to the reader or which may not be very much easy to understand. So all those things are to be put in the glossary, right? So this is what we can say the structure of the report, right? And when you go through the structure of the report, when once you have understanding the structure of the report, then comes the duty of writing a report, right? And when you go through the writing of the report, there are several stages. You have to go through all these stages before you start writing or composing or drafting of your report. Stage 1, it is understanding the report brief, right? Because you have to understand the report brief, because in the report, what is to be covered. The report brief will tell you the objective of the report, that why the report is to be composed. And once you have understood the report brief, then you will be able to go on with the material available with you. So it is very much essential that before you start writing the report, you have to understand the report brief, right? What is there in the report brief? So it is a brief information about the objective, about the goals of the report. And when you go through the goals of the report, then you will be able to go through the stage 2. because once you have understood what is the report brief, then you will have to gather and select the information. That is stage 2. In stage 2, there is the gathering and selecting the information, right? And when you will go on gathering and selecting the information, over there, as I said, there will be field work, there will be the library work, there will be the questionnaire, and through all these medium, you will be able to gather the information or data. Now see, when you go for the collection of data, in this age, we can say this is the age of information technology, or this is the burst of information. Whatsoever information you want to have, you want to collect, you may collect it with the help of internet very quickly, right? So you may gather plenty of information, plenty of data for your project. But in the stage 2, while writing the report, there comes selecting information, the most essential thing, because here there will be plenty of what we can say material available with you. But through this material, which is the most important, which is relevant, which is useful, that you have to select. Otherwise, what will happen? As I said, the report may be of small pages, report may be of bulky pages, 3000, 4000 pages. But what should be the quality of report? That should be brief, concise, clear, right? So, while selecting the information, you need to be choosy. What information should be selected? As per the title, as per the hypothesis of the project, right? So, in stage 2, you have to be choosy in selecting your material. In stage 3, you have to organize your material, right? That when you start collecting the material, what happens? The material is in the immense numbers. Plenty of material is available, but you need to organize all these material in sequence. You have to see that what will follow which material. Means when you have put one thing in the chronology, the second will follow, the third will follow. And if you are not choosy, if you are not able to organize your material, then there will not be harmony in the report prepared by you. So, organizing your material is very much essential. Once you have organized your material, you have to go through the analysis of your material. You will have to read, you will have to check, you will have to assess the material whatsoever you have collected. Is it apt? The material collected by you, is it proper? And after these questions, after this touchstone method, you have to analyze your material. And later on, use that material, analyze that material chosen by you. And by analysis, by touchstone method, there you will reach to the stage 5 of report writing. And that is, you will go on writing the report. And as I said, that what will be the structure of the report, you will have to follow that structure. Next to report writing, you will have to reviewing and redrafting. Once the report is created, once the report is ready, it doesn't mean that you will run and you will submit the report before your authorities. Because review is the most essential thing. Reviewing and redrafting. because as a project manager, in the very first stage of report writing, you have understood the brief of the report. And as you have understood the brief of the report, in the stage 6, you will have to see that in the brief, what were the objective goals of this project or of this project report. You will have to review it, that throughout the whole stages of report writing, all these objectives of report writing are achieved or not, that you will have to see it. And after the review, there will be the redrafting of the report, because there may be some errors, there may be some omissions, because in any of the report, errors and omissions are always accepted. So before submitting, before going for the stage 7, you need to review and redraft. For reviewing and redrafting of the project report, you need to be in cool and calm state of mind, and you need to be very well aware with the objectives, vision and mission of the report writing. Then and only then you will be able to see that the goals are achieved or not. And after this 6th stage, there comes the stage 7, and that is presentation. The report is to be presented before the authority. यानी कि presentation will be there, and when you will go for the presentation, you will be required to deliver the things very convincingly, because you are the fellow who has written the whole report. You are one of them who has gone throughout from the first, that is from the initiation towards the completion. When the initiation was done, means when the project was started, when the project started, the project manager or the report writer was the fellow who started the work, and that's why he will present the things, he will present the whole report. So the 6th step of the report writing, 7th step of the report writing is presentation. And wherever you go, presentation is the most essential thing. And how will be that presentation of the report may be effective. So for effective report writing or effective report presentation, the report or the presentation should be appropriate to its purpose and audience. Right? When you start presentation, it should be appropriate to its purpose. To its purpose means, as I said, the presenter, the project manager or the writer of the report must be aware with the vision, mission, objectives and the goals of the project or of the report writing. Right? Because if I am not aware that why I am over here, because I have to deliver the things about the project report writing, about the abstracts, about the summary, about the executive summary. If I am not aware about the purpose of this lecture, then my deliverance will not be effective. On the same, my report writing, my presentation or the presentation of the project report writer, project manager must be appropriate to the purpose and audience. Who are the listeners? To whom the presenter the project manager is going to deliver his stuff. So the project manager or the reporter is going to deliver his stuff to the board of directors, his stuff to the executive members of the company. Then when this appropriate sense is clear in the mind of the presenter, then it will be effective. On the same, in the presentation, in the effective report writing, there will be the accuracy. Accuracy is the most important thing, because the report, the presentation should not be, or rather we can say must not be, in the haphazard manner. It must have accuracy, because the accuracy will attract the audience. If the speaker, if the presenter is diverted from his subject, if he is diverted from his goal, vision and mission, then that will make his audience little bit bored. The audience will not be interested in listening offhand manner information. So the project report and the presentation must be accurate. With the accuracy, the report must be logical. Right? There must be the logical sequence of chapters, headings and information in the report. Illogical or the excuses or the points which doesn't have logical connectivity will convert in the failure of the presentation. Precisely what we need, the presentation as well as the report must be clear and concise. When you have presented your report, when you are there before the board of directors for the presentation, then while going through the presentation, you must be clear. Clear means, as I said, vision, mission, goals and objectives. All these things are required to be clear in the mind of the speaker, in the mind of the presenter. Otherwise, if you are not clear about the whole content of the report, about the whole feasibility report, then you will not be able to deliver your stuff clearly. There will be the ambiguity in your speech. There will be ambiguity in your presentation. And with clear, crystal clear presentation, you need to be concise. Small is the beautiful. As it is said, small is the beautiful. So the report and your presentation both must be concise. Concise means it must have well beginning, middle and an end conclusion. Right? When you go on, when you start your presentation, it should have proper beginning. It should start with the introductory note. There will be the bell of introductory, ringing bell of introduction in the initial stage of your presentation. Else, you may not start abruptly, because the audience will not be able to understand that what the presenter wants to say. Abrupt beginning will not work. Beginning should be like beginning. And when you go on further, that must show that you have reached to the middle of your presentation, middle of your deliverance of report writing. Right? That middle should follow the beginning. There should be the logical, harmonious connection with the beginning and the middle. And both these things in the concise presentation, in the concise report, both these things, beginning and middle, should take you towards the conclusion, towards the end. And when you reach towards the end of the report, it must sound, it must show that there will not be anything after this end, after this conclusion, after the deliverance of findings of this report. So clear and concise. So when you make a report, in the conclusion part, you must be clear about the findings so that the reader or the fellow to whom you have submitted your report, there may not be any question or query. And this report, your presentation must be well organized with clear sections headings. With clear sections headings means your report must be well organized, means in your report the chapters, sub chapters, all these things are to be shown very much clearly. If you have not shown all these things very much clear, then the reader of the report will be just what we can say lost in the pages of the report. The matter, the interest of his focus will not be very much easy to find. You might have, as a project report manager, you might have included all the things, but if it is not well organized with clear section headings, then the reader will have some difficulties in finding the things, in finding a point which is necessary to him. Right? Because in the report, you might have included a part of marketing. But if it is not shown clearly with section headings, then the person of marketing will not be able to find it out. And what will happen? The person of marketing will come to you with the report that where is this section. And if your report is well organized, in your report you have mentioned all the chapters, all the sub-chapters properly, then none will have to come to you and your report may be accepted, may be sanctioned by all the authorities. Right? So, in this report, right, as I said, that report, when you start on with writing the report, it is a major form of professional communication. Report writing is a major form of professional communication. As I said, in the corporate, in the industry, even in the management of the government, reports are very much essential. Because many of the companies, many of the organizations and government too, they are implementing any policy, any project as a pilot project. So, in pilot project, they are implementing their schemes, their planning in an offhand manner. And for the implementation of all these policies and schemes, they need to create a report, and it is a professional communication. right? And reports are of also two types, one that is informational and another that is analytical. In informational report, you may have covered, or the project report writer will cover all the necessary information which will serve the objectives of the report. And in analytical report, the report writer will have to collect the data, will have to make analysis on the data. The report writer will have to show all the data analyzed properly through any graph, any chart, and different types of charts, pie chart, line chart, three-dimensional graph, right? So that is another type, and that is analytical report. With these two types of reports, there are some small reports also, right? When you are given to draft, when you have to draft any report, so some small reports are also there. They are known as preliminary report. Before the submission of the final report, you provide a preliminary report to the board of directors, and they will go through the preliminary report. After the preliminary report, there is a completion report, that the project is completed. So the fellow or the board of directors or the executive council of the management may ask the completion report. Next to it, in between, once you are given the project and when you are asked to submit your project report, in between, the authority, the senior officers may ask to submit a status report, that what is the status of the project given to you. Then you will be required to submit a status report. Once you have submitted a status report, based on the reading, on the outcome of this status report, the company, the authority, the senior officers may ask you to submit a partial report of the project given to you. So the partial report is also there. In some of the cases, the fellow, the committee, the individual is also asked to submit an experimental report, right? A small project is given. It may be the pilot project, and in that pilot project, what this pilot project has given an output. So experimental project report is also to be submitted. For a special outcome or to know a specific outcome of any company's activity, the executive may be asked to submit a special report on the activity, right? So such small reports are there, special report, interim report, right? That throughout the whole report or for a long tenure of the time, in between you are asked, because in some of the cases, as I said, that the project may go on for a long tenure. So in such cases, the writer or the chairman of the project is to be asked to submit an interim report to know the status, the development of the report of the project. So service report, operational reports, and ultimately final reports are also there to be submitted. In some of the cases, there may be a report, a committee report, to know the failure of any project, that the company has started this work, this industry or this business, then why there is a failure. So failure report is also there. The committee or the person will be required to know the reasons why the project has failed, what were the problems precisely. Progress report is also to be submitted. right? So progress report, inspection report, and periodic report, all these types of small forms of reports are there, which are to be included or to be carried out by a fellow, by an executive in the company. So, in this session, we have gone through the writing of project reports. In this session, we also saw that what is an abstract, how a summary is to be written of the whole project, precisely what is an executive summary of the report, right? So, in this session, we have gone through the writing of project reports. Thank you for the support and technical assistance for the recording of this lecture. Thank you.